Welcome back, aliens. My name is Evan Reddy, and in this video we'll talk about Python 2. You might have heard about this news that Python 2 is dying. That's not the case. It's just that the support for Python 2 is going to end this year. Now see, when you talk about this support, what it means is, so let's say when you have a new version, so we got Python 2.1, Python 2.2, and now we are using Python 3.9, I guess. So all these versions, they get new updates, they get new features. And if you're using Python 2 or 2.7, there might be some bugs in that. And so what they will do is, so let's say when they realize the bugs, when they see the bugs, they will give you a new update. So let's say we got a new update for Python 2.7, which is Python 2.7.1. So this version will have some new features and the bug fixes. The same thing happened with Android every month, right? So you get a new update regarding this security. So those are the bug fixes which you get. Now, why they have to end the support? To understand this, let's go back to year 1990s where you got Python for the first time. Now, when you have the Python as a first version, it was having some features, and every time they used to give you new updates. So again, 1.1, 1.2, you got some new features and you got bug fixes. So the community, they are working very hard to give you features and the bug fix as well. And then they realize, hey, Python is a great language, but then we have to add some amazing feature. One of the amazing feature is memory management, a very important feature for any language. And they came up with Python 2 in year 2000. And okay, so you can say Python 2K. So that was a version which they got. And then it was amazing. It got very famous. And most of the projects, they started using Python 2. Maybe people started using Python 2 as a language, and then they also used some frameworks, the third-party frameworks to build applications. And of course, these third-party applications or the third-party frameworks, they have to use Python 2 as a base language, right? And then they got famous. Again, we got some libraries. And then in 2008, we got a new version for Python, which is Python 3. Now, normally, when you talk about new languages, when you talk about the new updates, every time they are backward compatible, especially Java. So till Java 1.8 or till Java 1.7, everything was backward compatible, which means even if you move from 1.5 to 1.6 or 1.6 to 1.7, you can still use the old features in the new version. But that was not the case for Python. They got a new update, they got a new feature. So either you have to be on Python 2 or you have to be on the track of Python 3, right? So there are two different things. Now Python 3 was amazing. So we had some differences in the features. Example, one of the feature was when you divide a number in Python 2, so let's say 5 divided by 2, you will get 2. So they will give you an integer value. But that's not the case with Python 3. What you get is when you say 5 divided by 2, you will get 2.5. And that makes much more sense, right? So now this was one of the feature. We got input function as well. Input function was there in Python 2 as well, but it was having a different behavior. So if you want to take an input in a string format, you have to use raw input. But in Python 3, they say, hey, just use input. It will give you string, and you can use it as you want. Right, so these are some differences in Python 2 and 3. Of course, we have a list of differences. Let's not talk about that now. It's just that now some people, they were still using Python 2 from a long time. Of course, they have built some projects from a long time, some huge projects, and suddenly Python 3 came up. They realized, hey, we are still happy with Python 2, right? And it has amazing features. So in 2014, the community recommended everyone or encouraged everyone to move from Python 2 to Python 3 because in year 2020, they will end the support. But then, of course, not everyone will move, right? Because it is not easy to migrate the existing softwares from Python 2 to Python 3. Okay, when I say you have to migrate, it means you have to change the entire source code for Python 2 to Python 3. Of course, you can use some tools. There was a tool which is 2 to 3 utility. You can use that. And it works well for most of the cases. Somewhere it might not work. You have to do it manually. But then some people moved. Okay, some of the projects, they moved from Python 2 to Python 3. They wanted the support. And some people were still using Python 2. Now, what if you get a bug in any version which you use? So if you're using Python 3 and if you have some bugs there in the language, so the community, they will have the bug fixes. They will give you a new update. But that is going to end for Python 2. So in April, they are going to release the last version for 2.7, which will be the last update from their side. And they are recommending you, in fact, it's not recommendation now, it's what you say, it's almost a compulsion to move from Python 2 to Python 3. Now, what if you still want to use Python 2? That's your choice. Of course, if you get some bugs, you have to solve it by yourself. Community will not give you. Otherwise, you can take a help from the third-party vendors. They will help you. Of course, you have to pay to the vendors. So they will give you the bug fixes. And maybe you can also take external help to move your project from Python 2 to Python 3 if you don't have time or if you get stuck somewhere. So that's the thing. You have to go from Python 2 to 3 if you want a long-term support. And of course, for Python 3 as well, maybe if you're using Python 3.7, even that has a limit. So maybe in 2024, they will end the support for 3.7. So of course, you have to move to 3.8. But moving from 3.7 to 3.8 or 9 is easy because they are backward compatible. So that's one of the news. So don't worry, if you're still using Python 2 in your projects, you can still use it. It's just that you will not get the new updates. And if you want to migrate, it's the best time to migrate from 2 to 3. So takeaway points, Python is not dying. In fact, I have heard from some people that Python is going to die. That's not the case. It was Python 2. They forgot to put that 2 in the title. So Python 2 supports end this year. So that doesn't mean you cannot use Python 2. You can still use it, but it is recommended to move to Python 3. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section and do subscribe for further videos. Bye-bye.